Hello Capricorn and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I still have the tarot deck I'll be using, the clarification deck, and the advice deck that I'll be using to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Capricorn, this is my first general reading back after a good 2 weeks off of working. So I'm super excited, high energy today, and just ready to see what we've got for you guys. In your recent past, Capricorn, you have higher power with the Five of Cups. This Five of Cups energy represents, grief, disappointment, loss, sadness, just a lot of kind of just overwhelming emotion, I feel like. And this higher power card feels a little bit like reassurance. Reassurance that regardless of what's been going on, regardless of what you've been working through, that you are very, very supported by a higher power, by something bigger than you, whatever that looks like to you. I often say spiritual connection of your own understanding, God, spirit, higher self, whatever it is that resonates with you. In your current energy, you have meant to be with the sun. So this is what I feel like is really exciting about this reading, is it does feel like, whether or not it feels like it to you right now, based on where you're at in your life, I feel like your life is kind of going through this transformative period of moving you toward where it is that you're meant to be. This sun card really representing fulfillment, like alignment with your highest good. And I feel like that is, you're like I said, in this transformative period of moving into that. Now, the overall theme of the reading literally is transformation with this butterfly here. And the message that came through when I pulled this card, obviously before I started channeling directly, was cocoon phase. Like, I feel like you're in the cocoon phase of the transformation, which means things are dark and gooey and you don't really know whether or not this is all going to be worth it, or what's going to happen, or what it's going to feel like on the other side. And all of those things can be really scary. But as I talk about all of the time, I think that some of the darker periods of our life can lead to some of the best periods of our life, as long as we allow them to, like, as long as we're willing to kind of transmute the negative into positive, which can be really hard to do when we're going through really difficult periods. But in your immediate future, you have communicate with the Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is a very interesting message, because I feel like Spirit is really asking you, God, higher self, spiritual connection of your own understanding, is really asking you to lean pretty heavily on that spiritual connection, because this communicate card really feels like a card of like prayer, or asking for guidance, or asking for clarity, or whatever the case might be. Because with this Knight of Pentacles, I feel like you are kind of slowly moving into where it is that you're meant to be. But as you move forward, just know that you're not alone. Know that you do not have to go through this alone, that you might feel alone, like in the material world sense, but you are not alone. Like, you have a spiritual team. You are very guided. Now, whether or not you're open to listening and following that guidance is a completely different story. But I feel like that's what, this reading is really kind of pushing you toward, is understanding that you're not alone. You do have that guidance available to you. But let's start by looking at this past energy for you, Capricorn. Higher power with the Five of Cups here. What does Capricorn need to know about this past energy? I feel like this is very much an energy of reading of reassurance, like knowing that no matter where you're at in your journey, like it might seem dark, scary, overwhelming. There might be a lot of really uncomfortable feelings and experiences associated, but that, like, you are supported, you're headed in the right direction, like things are gonna be okay. That's what this very much feels like. But let's get more, Capricorn, starting with this past energy. the Star with the 8 of Cups and the World in reverse. This is an energy of breaking out of old cycles. Whether or not it was your decision, I don't know. I feel like for some of you it was your decision. And for others of you, you were pushed either to making a decision or something happened that needed to happen to get you out of old cycles. So like, if you were dealing with a relationship, it could have been like your decision to leave this relationship, or maybe somebody else left you or something, because I feel like whatever you were caught up in feels like it was very much like dimming your light, dimming your ability to step into your full potential. And so I feel like Spirit had to move you away from that energy one way or another. And I feel like that's typically when things start to get a little bit overwhelming, is when you're like, you know, when you thought you were in the right space, or you were doing the right thing, or you were with the right person. Like, you know, no one goes into something like thinking that it's gonna end, or wanting things to not work out, or having that intention, right? Well, I don't want to say no one, who knows, but I do very much feel like this was I really thought things were gonna go very different, but I feel like there was some sort of cycle here that Spirit, God, your higher self, whatever resonates with you, was trying to break you out of. All right, let's get more past energy for Capricorn. I feel so freaking good, Capricorn. I needed a rest. Okay, 10 of Pentacles, yeah, 10 of Wands. And that's what I was trying to say, Justice in reverse. What felt like it was going to be the 10 of Pentacles ended up being the 10 of Wands. I feel like where you felt things were going, you were like, oh, this looks like things are going to be so good. And, you know, it's happily ever after. This is my path. Like, this is my time. I'm going to succeed this time. And then I feel like it was like, boom, 10 of Wands. You were like, man, this is heavy. This is burdensome. I can't carry this. It's like, it's almost like you expected the outcome to make you feel different than it did. So you maybe, for some of you, you might have even gotten what you wanted. You might have even gotten the outcome that you desired, but it did not feel the way that you wanted it to feel. In fact, I think it felt very hard, very heavy, very dark. And that expectation, I feel like maybe kept you staying in something for a little bit longer than maybe was best for you. I'm not saying you did the wrong thing or that you've ruined your opportunity of success or happiness. Okay, that's not how it works. But maybe you stayed in something a little bit longer because you had, in the beginning, that expectation, or that you saw this potential in something. So it's like you were waiting for the feeling to come. You were waiting for things, like you were like, okay, I did the thing. Like, I got here. But why do I feel the same or no different or sad or bad? Like, it's like where you ended up did not make you feel the way you expected. So this Justice in reverse energy, it kind of feels like there was this imbalance, almost like in a way it was like I should feel different. This should be different than it feels. This experience should be different than it is. And I feel like that's why Spirit had to take you out of it, is because the feeling that you're looking for, the happiness, the joy, the love, the success, the abundance, all of that is still very much possible. It just feels as if the path or the way that you were going about it was actually not the right path. Now, that doesn't mean you went down the wrong path or you chose the wrong thing. Okay, we always make the best decision for us to learn what we need to guide us to the right path in the end. So I'm not saying shame on you, you made the wrong choice or anything like that. But, you know, for me, like, I look back at all of the times I made, quote unquote, the wrong choice, whether it was in a relationship or a career, whatever the case is. Every single time I made, quote unquote, the wrong choice, it always led me to making the right one. And I wouldn't have known the right path, the right way, the right person for me if I hadn't have made those decisions. You know, I truly believe there are no such thing as mistakes. I think that there are, you know, decisions that we make and ways that we learn from those. And that's just kind of the way that life is. So please don't take this reading as like you did something wrong. Okay, that's not what this is about. I feel like what this is about is there was something that needed to be learned to carry you to better, but it's like you needed to go through this. You needed to experience this in some way, shape, or form. Okay, past energy for Capricorn. There's a song lyric that comes into my mind. It's I got the things I wanted, it's just not what I expected. It's a song called Making the Bed by Olivia Rodrigo. And the reason that I feel like that's coming through is, like I said, it's like you might have gotten the outcome you desired, or and maybe not for all of you, but maybe it's like you were searching for an outcome or whatever it was. It did not go according to your plan. And so Spirit kind of had to move things in a different direction. Ooh, okay. Justice or why did I say justice? Well, we just had the Justice in reverse. Strength in reverse. The King of Swords. Here's the thing with you guys, Capricorn. You guys are so tough mentally. I feel like you're like, well, I can handle this. I can go through this. This is fine. I can deal with this. I can, just because you have the capacity to deal with something or put up with something or to handle something does not mean that is an obligation. Just because you can deal with a really tough relationship doesn't mean that your relationships should bring you more sadness than it does joy. Just because you can handle working 14 million hours a week doesn't mean you should have to handle that. Like, I feel like that's what's like Capricorn, I feel like is one of those signs. It's like you can really just put your head down and just do it. But you don't always have to, right? You don't always have to get it done. You can also sometimes enjoy the journey and feel good in the process. And I feel like you weren't. There's this energy of not enjoying the journey, not feeling good, not feeling happy, not feeling abundant or loved, or, whatever it was that you were looking for, like not feeling the sun, basically. And I feel like it started to take a toll, maybe on your self-worth, the way that you viewed yourself, the way that you viewed what it was that you were capable of experiencing. It's like, I feel like whatever it was, the reason that it didn't feel the way that you wanted it to feel was because it wasn't meant for you, right? You have this meant to be card. This is all moving you toward what is meant for you. So don't think that it's not because you weren't good enough or strong enough or capable enough. In fact, I feel like you were plenty strong and plenty capable. It's just that it didn't have to, it's like one of the biggest things I've learned on my journey is it doesn't have to be that hard. Like, things are challenging and they're going to push you to grow, and you're going to have to, wade through some things that are uncomfortable, but it doesn't need to be painful and detrimental to your mental and physical well-being in order for you to get to where you want to go. It's just that I feel like so much of society kind of praises that, right? Praises the grind and the unhealthy aspects of pushing yourself to your limits, but it's not always about that. All right. Shifting gears for Capricorn's current energy, meant to be with the sun. And just know you're very supported. You are very supported. You are very guided, and Spirit is asking you to lean on that support, on that guidance. All right. What does Capricorn need to know about their current energy? Ooh, 8 of Wands, forward movement. See, okay, this is what's interesting, because here's the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have the 8 of Wands, this forward movement card. Things had to fall apart in order to move you to better. And that's like exactly what this is saying. But the problem is where you're at right now, I feel like you're kind of dealing with the aftermath of things falling apart. So right now you're like, I don't know what to expect. Like, I had this plan and this plan didn't work out, and now I don't know where I'm headed. The cocoon phase, right? The darkness, the uncertainty, the fear, the stress. And that is not the most fun part of a journey, for sure, but it is always worth it as long as you are willing to lean into that faith. When we're in uncertainty, when we're in the unknown, we kind of have one of 2 ways of dealing with it. We can allow that fear to completely overtake us, and we can say, I'm never going to be happy again. Things are never going to be good. Things will never be as good as they could have been. And we allow that fear to dictate what we do moving forward. Or we take on the belief of in faith. We're able to say, I know that I don't understand what's going on right now. I'm sad. I don't know why this had to happen. I wish things would have been different, but I'm going to believe that I can still be happy. I'm going to believe I can still be successful. I'm going to believe that this is all happening for a reason. That when we're able to lean in to that belief, we're able to be carried to places that we wouldn't be able to go if we weren't kind of going through the difficult times. But again, it's not always easy to feel that way, to see the light, if you will, when you're kind of going through it. Now, I could be speaking to some Capricorns who are on the other side of this. I could be speaking to a Capricorn collective that kind of has seen the payoff of this, or is starting to. I feel like I'm kind of speaking to a collective that's maybe in all different phases of this transformation journey, so whatever resonates for you. Okay, current energy for Capricorn. But you are in forward movement, or forward momentum kind of energy. Here you are, Queen of Pentacles, whether you are male or female, it does not matter. We all have feminine and masculine energies within us. You have this Nine of Wands. I feel like maybe you feel one step forward, three steps back. Like you're like, I try to take steps forwards and the universe just knocks me on my booty. You just constantly feel as if you're fighting against resistance. And to be honest with you, Capricorn, you kind of are. You are. You're fighting against resistance. You're fighting against fear and doubt and uncertainty and insecurity and negativity. You're fighting against a lot right now. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it decide your journey for you. You know, so many people give up right before it's about to happen, or before they get to where they're going, or give up when life knocks them down. And, you know, I feel like I kind of said, right, you, Capricorn, have this energy of being able to kind of put your head down and do it, right? I encourage you to take that energy and to apply it to having faith. You know, I saw something once that was like both doubt and faith require you to believe in something. If you doubt that you're never going to get there, or doubt that you're never going to be happy, or doubt that you're never going to get what it is that you want, you're believing in that with all of your, you know, you're having faith in that, right? But if you're going to have faith that things are going to work out, you have to believe in that. You have to have faith in that. So you kind of have to choose what you're going to lean on right now. And I feel like Spirit is saying lean on that faith, because I feel like it's going to carry you to really, really cool places. But right now doesn't feel so cool. I feel like it's like you're trying to move forward, you're trying to push through, you're trying to get there, and it just feels like obstacle, challenge, like maybe you're getting a no, or I don't know what it is, but just know that every single rejection, every single roadblock, everything that you're going through that feels like this is just not working out, that is only leading you to the right place. But that faith in that is going to be so imperative, because so many people want to give up after their, you know, fifth rejection, right? It's like, why would I even try? The answer is always no, or things never work out, or something bad always happens. So I'm just going to stop trying, right? When maybe the next time that person would have tried would have been the one, right? So every single obstacle that you're dealing with right now is only leading you to the right path. I know it's hard to feel like that when you're dealing with it. Take it from me. I know how hard that is, but I've learned in my own journey that leaning on that faith only takes you to better places. Believing in fear only keeps you trapped in less than what you deserve. And you certainly deserve whatever it is that you're wanting here. This fulfillment, joy, happiness, peace, love, all of it. All right, current energy for Capricorn. Whoa, there's the World in reverse. So that's the thing. And I felt this at the beginning, right? When I talked about ending the cycle, people don't realize that closing out a cycle isn't like when a relationship ends. That's not like, oh, I closed the cycle because I walked away, or that person walked away from me. That's actually not when the cycle closes. The cycle closes when you make the decision to not repeat it. When you decide to make a different choice, instead of going back into the same habits. That's when a cycle actually closes. And when you're experiencing obstacles and challenges and setbacks, that's typically when most people are pulled back into a cycle. So understand that as you're kind of closing out, I feel like almost like a phase of your life, there are going to be obstacles and challenges and setbacks that are trying to pull you back into what is known and back into what is familiar and back into the old. But it's important for you to know that things didn't work out because they weren't supposed to work out. So if you were to go back to the same thing, it would end up the same way. So Spirit is trying to move you. This is about moving forward into new opportunities, new experiences, new chances for abundance and success and all of those things. So allow the obstacles and challenges to move you in the right direction. Don't allow yourself to give up just because you're experiencing obstacles and challenges, and understand that giving up is actually the easy choice. Giving up is the choice to say, this is too hard. I don't want to deal with it. And there's also nothing wrong with that choice. There's nothing wrong with repeating old cycles, because like I said, you will make the best decision for you and for your growth journey whenever you need to. So, all right, immediate future for Capricorn. Communicate with the Knight of Pentacles here. What does Capricorn need to know moving forward? Your life really is transforming here, Capricorn. And I feel like it's so important for you to know that you kind of have a choice of which way it transforms. It can continue to transform from a place of faith, or it can transform from a place of fear. allow this transformation to take place, and I think you're going to get to some pretty cool places. There's the Hierophant. This is like talking kind of about awakening, like leveling up mentally, physically, spiritually. It's almost like, yeah, because there's the Six of Wands and then the Four of Swords. It's almost like your life is leveling up along with your growth, right? Which is the way that it works. It's very straightforward. It's like as we transform internally, as we grow, as we heal, as we evolve, like our life is going to heal, grow, and evolve with us. We're not going to repeat old cycles. Old cycles aren't going to happen in our life because we've moved past those, right? So it does. It feels like your life is kind of, wasn't this, I feel like this was like a title for a Capricorn reading I had in the past is like your life is being taken to new heights or something like that. And maybe it wasn't Capricorn, but it does feel very familiar in the sense that I do feel like you are going through a huge, major transformation. And this transformation is very good, but probably very scary, and probably very difficult. And you deserve all of the credit for dealing with it, for handling it, and going through it. As messy or as chaotic as it has been, there's no right or wrong way to allow your life to transform. But just know that you're going to get there. I feel like you're headed in the right direction. You're choosing, to make the best decisions for you. And that's all you can do. But then you have this communicate, right? This communicate card. Don't be afraid to send up a little prayer to the universe. Hey, universe, I'm scared. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's happening. I need some peace. I need some direction. I need some answers. I need some guidance, and to be open to those answers, because I feel like that's going to help you a lot throughout this journey that you're on. There's the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at this. This is like the finish line, right? I see this Four of Wands is like the finish line. There is no finish line to a growth or healing journey, right? However, because cycles are always going to exist in your life, good ones and bad ones. They're always going to exist. It's just part of how the human nature works. It's cyclical, or just nature in general, not even just human nature. But I feel like the finish line of this cycle that you're going through is it's like on the horizon. So if things have been bad and you feel like they've been bad for lifetimes, just know that I do feel like you're coming up to the finish line. Like, keep believing, keep trusting, keep having faith, communicate with that higher power, a spiritual connection of your own understanding. And I feel like you're going to get through this. I feel like that, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're going to get through this. You're going to get to the other side of this. And I feel like it gets good on the other side of this too. All right, what else does Capricorn need to know moving forward? Three of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. I feel like the biggest thing right now is maybe this sense of loss. Well, what if my opportunity to be happy, to be loved, to experience the relationship that I want, the success that I want is behind me? Nothing that is meant for you will ever pass you. Whether you have made a mistake, or you were dealing with somebody else who made a mistake, or whatever you've been going through, nothing that is meant for you will ever pass you. Anything that has been lost is only opening the door for new, okay, for more opportunities, sometimes better opportunities. So allow yourself to move through all of the grief and the loss associated with what you're leaving behind. Because again, in the cocoon phase, right? So you're leaving a certain life, you're leaving the caterpillar life behind, you're stepping into the butterfly life. But maybe you really enjoyed that caterpillar life. Maybe it wasn't all that awesome. And you've heard that the butterfly life is way more awesome, but it's still the life that you lived. It was part of who you are. So you got to grieve an old life to step into a new one. That process has to happen. You have this phoenix rising from the ashes analogy, right? The rising from the ashes is a magical, wonderful thing to take place, but the burning has to happen first. You got to become the ashes to rise from it. And so if you're in that process, just know that everything you feel is valid and it matters, but you don't have to believe your feelings when they tell you that you're never going to be happy again, or you're never going to be loved, or you've missed your opportunity or your chance. That is not true. Nothing that is meant for you will ever pass you. In fact, I feel like there's a lot of beauty ahead of you, because again, you have meant to be with the sun, right? That's where you're being guided to. So, all right, Capricorn, thank you so much, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated. I'm going to hop on over to the extended, where we're going to dive deeper into these messages, focusing more on what you can do right now to ensure you're moving forward in alignment with your higher self. So the extended is kind of more focused on the coaching through this kind of transformation type thing, focusing on advice and guidance, things of that nature. So any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much again. And as always, Capricorn, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you desire and deserve on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Capricorn.